Hello everybody, I am FedoraG4mer, and today we are kicking it with Approaching Infinity. This is a space roguelike that is on Kickstarter right now, seeking a very modest goal of $5,000, and they are already over 4,000 of that with 13 days to go, so this is looking very promising that this will be a successful Kickstarter. But what is Approaching Infinity? It is a space roguelike with both ship combat and away teams on planets. It's a very interesting mix, actually. We'll go ahead and jump into a new game here. You can choose your different ships, which have different weapon capabilities, cargo, and crew capabilities. I'm going to stick with just the little fighter guy here. And then you can customize your very pixelated character here. Changed hair. Have a rifle or a pistol, which doesn't actually affect gameplay, just affects the stance. And we got a blue jumpsuit on. Go medium, which is normal difficulty. Pay it forward, we can't use right now. I'll explain that a little bit as we play some. And no, we don't want the tutorial. Alright, and here is the spaceship type gameplay here that you start out with. Let's go ahead and start looking around. You can use numpad to control or mouse like I am, because I'm a clicker like that. And every sector you're in, there is this space station, the Banker Space Station, which is your main shop. It's always good to find that as early as possible in case you have to run back to get supplies. You can see over here our resources are shield, hull, supplies, which is like the food of this game. That a more traditional roguelike would use food. This has supplies. You don't want to run out of supplies. It goes down every action you take, every turn that passes. And the more crew you have on board, the faster your supplies will go down, I believe. So that pretty much functions as the hunger clock you would see in traditional roguelikes. And this game is very much in the vein of a traditional roguelike. Turn-based, randomly generated, permadeath, all that good stuff. The thing that sets it apart from most... Whoop, there's a pirate. Most more traditional roguelikes would be scale, I would say. Oh, yeah, there's a missile launcher. That's good. This is all about space, and apparently it can infinitely generate space. You can keep on moving through sectors to no end. And there's planets in every sector to explore, pirates to fight, other creatures to find, loot to be had. Very loot-focused, like any roguelike. So it's a very large scale. I do not know if at this point there is any goal. It totes being able to be infinite. You can continue forever. And I'm kind of on the fence if I consider that a good or a bad thing. The whole fact that it's infinite kind of fits the entire space theme and is very interesting. But the fact that there's no goal kind of lacks the drive I need to continue playing a game for that long. I don't know. I'm on the fence about that. Here is a Terran planet. We will go ahead and explore so I can show you a little bit about that. Now we have an away team. Captain doesn't go down with away team because, you know, you don't want your captain to die. If your away team completely dies, it's not game over, but it's not good for you. Your crew members are a resource that costs money to get more. They're basically a bunch of red shirts that are just sent out to die, but they cost money to replace, so you don't want them to die too quickly. Now there's one very interesting aspect of the away teams. Your suits have an oxygen meter, which I guess this is kind of the hunger clock of this game when you're in the away team mode, but you have to return to your shuttle to replenish your oxygen. Running out of oxygen won't instantly kill you. You'll start taking damage from suffocation, and if you're on a Terran planet like I am right now, they can take off their helmet and for air, but then there's a chance they catch some horrible alien disease. So it's generally a good idea not to get to that point. So we're just looking around for anything. This planet's not seeming too interesting. Very vegetation filled. Now I just went back and filled up my oxygen again. It's a very interesting, like, leashing system. You have to keep checking back in and trying to get further and explore other directions. Found some ore, some chemicals, and all these can be sold for money. Now we found some enemies. I will take care of that guy. You do have a ranged attack, even though the default blaster you start with only has 2 range. So most of the time I end up getting within melee range before I can even shoot them because of them taking their turn. Okay, let's go refill some oxygen here. You can get better environmental suits to hold more oxygen, and which is a very good idea to do anytime you have the chance. We'll pick that up, and now hopefully I have enough to get back. Okay, barely got back in time, but we did, so that's all that matters. And so, oh, there's another enemy. There's another enemy. We got some more chemicals. You basically do this explore for loot to sell and buy better equipment. I am getting low on oxygen. Uh-oh. Getting in combat's a bad idea when you're low on oxygen because you lose 1 oxygen per turn, whether the turn's used. So yeah, I started asphyxiating. I took a little bit of damage there. So whether your turn's used to move or to attack, that still takes the 1 point in oxygen. So if you have a bunch of enemies around when you're trying to get back for oxygen, it can end up wasting a bunch of turns. I don't know if coming down here is exactly a good idea. I might be straying a little too far away. Yes. I think that's about as far as we're going to be able to explore with our current suit. So we'll just go ahead and leave, and the entire away team survived, which is a rarity for me. Okay, another really interesting aspect of this game is you can see this data counter here. Every time you uncover tiles, you gain data. Call it scans of the sector and mapping, whatever you want to term it as, but you just gain data. You also gain data from exploring in away teams, and there's also nodes you can find that give you bonus data. Now these are not, Sigorns are not hostile. You can attack them if you want to, but there is a bit of a faction system here, and attacking them is going to lower your standing with them, and if it gets too low, they will become hostile towards you. So I'm going to not make any unnecessary enemies. Now we are getting low on supplies, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the space station here. And let's go to the commodity exchange, and this is where I can sell the stuff I've been picking up. Sell it all. Now there is buy low, sell high type of economy in this game. You can buy from one sector and take it to another sector and sell it for a profit. You can play space trader in this. My ship is not a cargo focused ship, so I don't have a whole lot of cargo space, so I'm not even worrying about that. I'm just picking up stuff as I go and selling it to the first space station I find. Let's go ahead and exit the space station real quick. I want to see if these missiles are any better than what I have. Let's look at our components here. It has 3 cooldown. I believe this is, you have a light weapon and a heavy weapon slot here. It's good damage, less damage than my large piercing beam, but it has 2 less cooldown. I don't know what the SV is. Oh, supplies use SU. So some of your weapons also take supplies. So your supplies aren't only just food; they are your ammunition for these heavier for your weapons as well. I did not realize that in my last playthrough. And it takes less supplies, much less damage. Fits weapon slot number 2. Cooldown. I will just sell this. I'll stick with the one I had. It's considerably more damage. So let me go to the pawn shop and sell equipment. Now we can, let's go to the lobby. Definitely need to go to the lobby, and I'm going to buy a few more crew members. Refill supplies and sell the data. I am pretty broke right now, but let's go to the Starship Outfitters. Ooh, I think this is a blaster, I believe, is for... Since it only has damage and range, I believe this is for the away teams. And that 4 range is really nice. I'm going to go ahead and buy that. Let's go to install. It automatically installed it. Alright. So we can look at devices is where you will see your away team's equipment. That's why another really interesting aspect is you equip your ship and your away team separately. So far, the only thing I know of you can get for your away team is the blaster and your suit. And in this, my last playthrough, I didn't find any better blasters whatsoever, and I was stuck with a 2-range blaster, which I noticed I started with a 3-range blaster on this game, so apparently your starting equipment is also randomized, which is not a bad thing, pretty interesting. Okay, let's sell the old one then. What else was there for... I can't afford any of that. Then there is contracts, which are basically quests. Take this mysterious package to the banker's station in Sector 2. Easy enough, easy money. So far, I've only seen 2 types of quests. Find X amount of something in this sector and take this to a different sector. So the quest variety is very bland and very much mostly fetch quests so far. But as I said, this is an early alpha. You know, I forgot to mention at the beginning of this, you can get this alpha on the Kickstarter page and play it yourself. It is free to grab off the Kickstarter page. It is a very early alpha. They're seeking money to finish it, to get better art, which it does lack in the art department, which is what most roguelikes look like, actually. But it does lack in the art department and sound department. So they're seeking the money to finish it off. There's things that are not in-game yet. They are not implemented yet, like officers. And crafting. There's going to be crafting. There's none of that just yet. Both of those are not implemented yet. There are artifacts, which I have not found any of yet, because I have not played a whole lot of this game. So let's look around the sector a little bit more. Oop, found our pirate. And when you kill something, their cargo goes flying out. And both of these are worth a good bit. Sometimes you'll get some broke pirates that don't have anything. Now, when you take damage, when you get shot, it's no big deal until your shields drop. And then after a few turns of not taking damage, they will start to regenerate. So taking a few shots doesn't really mean anything. Once you start taking whole damage, though, that gets considerably more expensive to repair. Oh, found a bunch of loot laying over here. I must have killed something over here and not picked up the loot because I was too far away to see it. I don't know if we checked out that planet or not, so let's check it out. No, we haven't. It's a very colorful planet. Lots of colorful vegetation. Probably lots of stuff that wants to kill me as well. Now I have a good shot range, which is quite helpful for taking much less damage. Thank you. Please die. Ooh, what are you? Onyx Giant. Threat 7%. Ooh, this guy's strong. Or at least he has a lot of HP. Most everything else dies in one shot. How's my oxygen looking? Let's not suffocate. It's a Terran planet, so if I run out of air, I might not die, but I might bring some horrible disease back to my entire ship and kill off everybody. Anything? I'm not finding anything interesting. Oh, there's some loot at least. There is some ore of some sort. Some of these trees areas, oxygen low, yep, I know oxygen low. They lower your visibility range, which also makes it a lot easier for enemies to get up in your face. Found some ore. Okay, run back. There isn't much that actually blocks my movement here. This is like a very big open one. Not a lot of water or anything like that. Let's not get hit by that guy. But I do have a low visibility range because it's very dense vegetation. Thank you. I need to head back. I'm probably going to take... I did take a little bit of suffocation damage. I always end up overextending myself when I'm exploring planets. I have lost many crew members to that. One thing that does lack in this game is there's no kind of leveling system that I can tell for either your away team or your ship or anything like that, which I guess kind of makes sense. Your ship doesn't level up, but no, I do like a good experience progression system, and I find it a bit lacking that there isn't anything like that. Progression is entirely item-based from what I can tell. Okay. Get back? Okay, good. Let's explore a little bit more. So, killing these enemies actually has no real benefit. You don't gain experience from it or anything of the sort. I've never seen any enemies on planets drop any kind of loot. Loot's always just laying around. Let's go, and the entire away team survived. Alright, I think we've picked this sector just about clean, except for this stupid pirate that wants to die, clearly. Okay, a bunch more loot, so we'll go sell that. Okay, I didn't get anything. Let's go to the commodities exchange. Sell it all. Give me all your monies, please. I still don't have that much in the credits department, actually. Lobby, we got to restock on supplies. Sell our data here. We're still good on crew members. Is there anything... This is better. Considerably. It doesn't show you a direct item comparison. I wish, like, up at the top there it would show you the stats for both items, but this ++ next to it tells me that it's considerably better when I have. This one here has a +-, which means it's better in some stats and worse in other stats. This is just a little bit better. And this is a... well, I believe this is device, even though it's not just for your away team. I guess there's other things that show up in the device, but I've never been able to afford them because they're all real expensive, but they give you some kind of passive permanent bonus. I don't want our outdated blaster, so there's nothing of too much interest for me here. Let's go ahead, and this is the warp point. Oh, we got another pirate that wants to die. Oh, he was loaded. Okay, we'll just go ahead and go to the warp point here and go to the next sector. Yep, now to complete that mission, I just need to find the bank station. The banker is the faction that runs the space stations. That was a spatial anomaly, which gives me a data bonus for selling. You also can, I keep just destroying the, ooh, hey, supplies, I need that. Destroying the asteroids, but you can, when you destroy them, it's called mining them, and they can leave ore behind. So, another anomaly. So this is going pretty well. Sometimes when you kill enemies, they will drop supplies, and that is a very good thing. This is Nebula, which lowers your sight radius when you're in it. It's also a good way to escape enemies, though. There's the teleporter out, but I'm not too interested in that yet. What I am most interested in is finding the space station, because not knowing where it is at is a very bad thing if I start running low on supplies. Now, if you run out of supplies, you don't die instantly. There's a barren planet, which is, I'll talk about in a moment, but that's bad juju. But yeah, we don't die instantly. You are stranded, and then a tug ship from the nearest banker station will come to get you. But by the way it words that, there's a chance that it can fail, it would seem. It says if it gets here in time, meaning if it gets there before you all starve to death. And if it does get there, I've had this happen to me once. It is a very hefty fee for towing you. There is the space station, just what I needed. Okay, I have plenty of loot to sell. That's good, good. And, oh yep, completed that mission. Let's go to the commodity exchange, sell everything. As I said, I don't have my inventory is pretty much full at that point. I don't have a whole lot of inventory space, or cargo space, as it were. All right, let's go here. Refill, sell data. Let's go and see what we have here. This is worse in some ways. Definitely has more oxygen. I think that's about 10 more oxygen. I think my range might be lower. I'm not sure. That's kind of a toss-up. It's the only thing I can afford, though. Wow, this is really nice. Jeez, expensive, too. Let's see what there is for contracts. Take a mysterious baggage to Sector 3. Again, there's not much variety in the quests at this point in the game. That will change, though. This is only an alpha. Do keep that in mind. It's a Kickstarter alpha. Frozen planet. I've never found a frozen planet before. Let's go ahead and check it out. 1 damage every move on frozen planet. Better suits will reduce the damage. Well, that seems unpleasant. Cosmic Hornets. That sounds horrible. I hate hornets anyway, so... Okay, die, please. Okay, these things are strong. Please, just die for me. Wow. Enemies on the frozen planet are kind of ridiculously strong. Quit running from me. I'm just taking damage from moving. Oop, that was stupid. Okay, I'm getting out of here. This planet's going to be the death of me. Run away. We lost 3 members of that away team. So our crew is down to 7 now. That was an unfortunate and probably a very bad idea in the first place to explore that planet. Another anomaly. Another asteroid. And a bunch of asteroids that aren't giving me any ore at all. Easy pickings for on the pirate there. This sector wasn't too interesting. Do have a barren planet down here, and barren planets damage you per turn as well, so I'm not even going to go mess with that. I will just get more of my poor crew killed. Nope. We got pirates coming out of everywhere. My weapons are on cooldown, it would seem. Well, no, I'm trying to attack myself. That's not the pirate, that is me. Alright. Dang it, where are these pirates coming from? Category 1 plastic armor. That might be better than what I have. Oh, hey. There's something I killed and dropped a bunch of stuff, and I was too far away to see it again. I do that quite often, it would seem. Assault Scout needs supplies badly. Yes, we are low on supplies. But this is Approaching Infinity. It is a space-based roguelike that I find to be a lot of fun. I do tend to love roguelikes. But they're asking for a very modest goal of 5,000, and they are already pretty close to hitting that. So if you want to check out the Kickstarter or get this alpha demo to play yourself, just check out the link in the description. I've been FedoraG4mer. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.